How's it going, Heart and Soul family? Today we got a special video. We're talking to Forex traders, specifically to you guys. But if you're an investor of any kind, this video is still going to be informative and you're still going to learn a whole bunch, so stay tuned. Alright, so we're talking about emotions. How do we handle those? How do we control those? If you haven't learned this yet, emotions definitely influence performance. So we want to talk about how we can leverage those, how we can control those, right? So we can stay on our toes and make wise decisions. And we also have my twin brother joining us today. He's a Forex trader, he's an investor, he's in the Air Force, he's a firefighter, he's a former athlete, right? So he's going to be super informative for us today, sharing a whole bunch of his own experience, and we're just going back and forth and just have a discussion. So hope you enjoy. Let's get to it. So what's up, guys? Welcome to the Forex Trader videos. This is specifically for Forex traders, but again, if you're an investor of any kind, it's really important that you sit in on this because you're going to learn a lot, right? So today we're talking about controlling our emotions, why that's important. We're going to have three sections to this video, going over some tips and things to think about. But I have my brother on here. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, my name is Willie Moses. You might know me as Billy Moses. I've been trading for a little under 2 years now, and I'm currently serving in the U.S. Air Force. I'm currently stationed in South Korea, having loads of fun out here. I thought it was really important for me and Brittany to get on and really talk about trading when it comes down to the mental game. I think trading is 90% mental, 10% technical. So if you don't have your mental game on point, you don't got the game right. So I'm super excited to sit down with her and have her spill some nuggets for us. So pretty excited.
Totally. Awesome, right? Just to start this video out, we want to acknowledge the emotions that we feel as traders, right? So basically we're talking about anxiety, we're talking about anger, frustration, maybe an anxious feeling, and then that list goes on. But Billy, what are some examples of some positive emotions that are important to mention?
Yeah, so I mean, I have plenty of examples, but I'll name a few. So feeling overly confident it's crazy how you can have 2 to 3 good trades where you're feeling yourself, you're super excited, you're confident, and the next trade just, and the next trade after that just goes crap. But feeling overly confident and not hitting the charts with a clear mind can just destroy a lot of your trades. And I think it falls right into it, but feeling overly confident or excited, going into the market, I know dropping big lump sums of money into your broker account when trading can cause a lot of excitement. I know it did for me one time, and it's not good. I mean, you're really quick to make trades, decisions, and it's just all bad. So those are a couple good feelings that could be detrimental.
Sure, and we'll get into more detail on that as well. So that's that, right? What emotions we're feeling. Now we're going to transition into the self-awareness part, right? So this is very important. A lot of times with performers of any kind, if they have issues with the emotional side of what they do, a lot of times they allow those emotions to dictate their decisions and how they perform and the choices that they make. So they kind of just, the emotions lead them, right, as opposed to the strategy. Right, so what we want to do is so we have a stimulus. We want to put a gap in between the stimulus and the response, right? So how we do that, there's a number of different ways we can do that. But for one, it's definitely self-awareness. Being aware of that emotion is definitely going to put you ahead of the game, right? Because you're going to be in control of that emotion as opposed to that emotion being in control of you. So we have a few questions we want to put on the table for you to ask yourself, and this is going to increase your self-awareness. So when do these emotions come, right? So for a few examples, it might be as soon as you sit down at your desk, right? You haven't even opened your laptop yet, but you're already feeling kind of that adrenaline. You're already feeling maybe a little anxiety. Maybe it's when you open up the charts and what pops up in your face and you see all that and you're starting to analyze it, starting to think about whatever you're thinking about, right? And it's really having you have a emotional response to that. Billy, when are other situations, scenarios where emotions can kind of come?
Well, yeah, I mean, I know for me, a big, when I open my chart, everyone has a broker as a trader. I open my brokerage, and there's a notification that, Bing is at me, and that kind of gets me, or it used to get me pretty excited, and, just ready to go. So I was always looking forward to that Bing. And then also when trading the currency market, there's different sessions in the market. So there's Asian session, New York session, London session. And I know for me, during that London session, which was a little later in the night, early morning, it caused me to kind of be up and looking. Oh, one second. Yeah, be up and looking at my chart, my phone, just really anxious in that time of the day. So, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, so the second question we have here is, how do we interpret these feelings? So for example, you have an athlete, right, and it's pre-game warm-up, and they have some jitters, right, some pre-game jitters, they have the anxiety, they're getting nervous, right, things like that. And usually how do they interpret that? They interpret that as being negative, right? I'm not ready, I'm not prepared, I don't feel confident, I'm starting to doubt myself. They get into the game, they're hesitant, they're slow to kind of get things started, right? And that's usually how it happens, right? But what's interesting is that what they were feeling prior to that game was really just a physiological response. It was just an arousal feeling. Energy, adrenaline, the heart rate is up, the palms are sweating, right? The breathing probably is shorter, but that's just that, right? It's just how the body is feeling. But as humans, we put meaning to those things and we put interpretations onto those things. And that's when we don't realize we have the control there, right? So it could be a negative thing or a positive thing where, hey, my body is actually just letting me know that this event is very important. It's very important to me, and it's requiring a lot from me, right? But I'm ready for it, right? My body is attentive. I have that adrenaline in my body, right? So I'm ready. So basically for us traders, you have that same power to interpret these feelings in a positive way, in a way that's going to benefit you, and really in a way that's going to encourage you, and not allow the emotions to get in the way, right? So that's really important. Talking about triggers. So Billy talked about triggers as far as push notification, a certain time of day, right, where certain trading sessions are going on. These are triggers, right? Triggers are things that basically trigger an emotional reaction out of you. Really what the key is here is to be aware of what those triggers are. That's the question for you. What are your triggers? A lot of times people don't know what their triggers are. All they know is that they're angry. All they know is that they get frustrated. All they know is they get anxious. They have no idea what has triggered that. So that definitely takes practice. That definitely takes a lot of self-awareness. But that is definitely key. So ask yourself that. Start getting more aware of that. So if you can get aware of that, again, you gain more control over your performance because you're able to have more control of your emotions as opposed to vice versa, the other way around. Okay. Billy, why is it important to realize what kind of state of mind you're in when you approach the charts emotionally?
Yeah. Well, I think it's very important because if you're not clear when coming to the charts, coming to the markets, you can make very rash decisions. A lot of times you have a strategy when buying and selling different pairs, and you can skip over these parts or steps in your strategy without really even recognizing it. But it's just because of where you're at emotionally. So if you've just had an argument with your girlfriend or wife, you and your best pal ain't friends anymore, your dog just died, it's probably not the best time to jump on the chart right after that. So give yourself some time to kind of chill out and like Brittany said, be more self-aware. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Definitely. So that's our second segment, right? So why is it important to be self-aware? Again, rewind this video, check out what those questions were, and really ask yourself, really assess kind of what your self-awareness level is. We want to transition now into the technique. So we want to get back to it. We want to give you things that you can apply directly to your trading routine today. So that's all that Billy has for us today. I want to thank Billy for hopping on here. We're really valuing what Heart and Soul is doing. We don't just serve athletes. We serve anybody and everybody who's a performer. And Forex trading is definitely an area that can benefit from this. So I want to thank Billy for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Cool. All right, guys. So Billy just logged off, but I hope you're still hanging. I've just got about just three things that I want you to try out and consider. So for one, and you might be familiar with it, me and my brother are, it's meditation and mindfulness. My dad taught me and my brother how to meditate when we were 10, very young, for athletic reasons, and man, it seriously impacted our performance there. But mindfulness is kind of a buzzword, kind of a popular thing. You've probably heard of it, maybe know a little bit about it. Basically, it's being intentional with your attention to the present moment without judgment, right? So you're not judging the present moment. You're not judging yourself or your thoughts or your emotions. You're just seeing it for what it is, right? Whatever it is, positive or negative. Well, I mean, I guess it wouldn't even be positive or negative because that'd be a judgment. So it's just being present. How do we do that? Basically, mindfulness and meditation is really tied to the breath, right? So your breath really is what anchors you to the present moment. Okay, so your thoughts can go future, they can go past, but as soon as you pay attention to your breath, all of a sudden you're here. All of a sudden you're here. So that takes practice. I don't want to get too into detail on what that is, but if you're interested in being guided in that way, I definitely can link up with you. We can work on that. So that's something that you can definitely use to manage your emotions. If you do really practice this, mindfulness does actually change structures in your brain. It actually does. It decreases the area in your brain that is associated with fear. So that definitely is a real thing. It definitely is a real thing. Secondly, a physical anchor. This might sound weird, but again, this is another technique that has been used and has worked for individuals, and it helps them, again, to be more at ease. So a physical anchor might be, for example, putting your thumb in between your pointer finger and your middle finger. This would be something that you would do, and you would use it during imagery or visualization sessions. So you close your eyes, and you'd imagine yourself kind of more in a heightened, anxious state. Maybe you can imagine yourself whenever you get this way. Maybe it's when you sit down with the charts or during that London session or whatever it is. Imagine yourself during that moment. Really sink into that. Really imagine all the senses, all the emotions in that moment. Use your physical anchor and imagine yourself then, as a reaction to this, calming down and being more at ease. Okay? If you do that a number of times, enough times, practice that, what's going to happen is in real time, whenever you do this, it's going to be something that calms you down. Right? Again, it might sound weird to you, but it does happen. Your brain can't really tell the difference. Your brain can't tell the difference between reality and when you visualize something in your own brain. That's why that works. Something to try. And also changing the relationship with your emotions. This sounds so simple, but so difficult. How you trade is how you do life, and how you do life is how you trade. That might mean a number of different things to you, but really think about that. If you struggle to control your emotions in other areas of your life, in other relationships, in your marriage, at work, whatever, trying to control your emotions at the table with your charts is probably going to be just as hard and going to have some issues there. So it's really being intentional about how you apply these skills that we're talking about to other areas of your life, other relationships you have, not just here at the table, not just here at your laptop. That is really what great competitors and great performers are able to do. They can expand these mental skills and these mental toughness, resilience, self-control, composure to a number of different things. So that's important to think about. So the deep breathing, we talked about that. If you want to just practice deep breathing on your own, I would suggest a 4 in, 1 second pause, 6 second exhalation. So 4 seconds in, pause at the top, exhale for 6 seconds, and make sure it's a belly breath, meaning that when you inhale, you want to feel your stomach kind of blowing up with air. That's definitely making sure it's a deep breath as opposed to a chest breath, which is a lot more shorter. Okay, so 4 in, 6 seconds out. My last thing here, and I'll let you go, is this. We talked about positive emotions. Billy talked about positive emotions that can be detrimental. I want to give you this phrase: stay centered. What that means is if you're on a scale and you have negative emotions and positive emotions here, you don't want to go too far on either end of that scale. Imagine the football player who is on the 3rd-yard line about to score a touchdown, but he celebrates too early and he gets tackled on the 1-yard line, doesn't make it across the finish line, or across the touchdown line. It basically picture that celebrating too much, getting too overconfident, all that stuff definitely affects our strategy, our focus, our composure, all those type of things. And at times we can suffer for that. Obviously, please be proud. Please have a sense of pride of what you guys do as traders and all the work you put in and the accomplishments you guys have. But really, as a trader, you want to stay centered. You want to stay centered and really just not get too far on each end of that spectrum. Really, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, Billy mentioned it. Controlling your emotions is just huge. It's huge, but again, it takes practice. Please be patient with yourself, especially if you're new to trading. And even if you're not new to trading and you never even thought about how important this aspect is, take time with it. Be patient with yourself. And again, reach out to us if you want any help on this. We're here to work alongside you guys and really just make you the best traders you can possibly be. All right. Thank you. Heart and Soul signing out. Coach Britt. See ya.
I'm upset. 50,000 on my head is disrespect. So offended that I had to double check.